Alright guys, welcome to part 2 of my huge update video. So let's continue on from where we left off. The next DVD here that I got was another great solid find for me, because I do enjoy this film a lot. And that is Adventures in Babysitting, which is a really fun film from the 80s. Yeah, 1987. Elizabeth Shue, Keith Coogan, Bradley Whitford from Get Out, he's in here as well. Directed by Chris Columbus from Home Alone, Mrs. Doubtfire, a lot of other stuff. Really fun 80s film. Enough said about this one. Next one I got here was the 2-disc collector's edition of Speed. Which I probably say is my favorite Keanu Reeves film. I really do love Speed a lot. You also have Dennis Hopper as the bad guy, the late great Dennis Hopper, Sandra Bullock, Joe Morton, who's the head of the cops in this, Cyborg's dad from Justice League. Jeff Daniels is another cop. Directed by Jan de Bont, same guy that did Twister, did this film. But nothing much more I need to say about Speed that hasn't been said before. Now here's a film here I have not yet seen before, but I'm really interested in seeing it. Really looking forward to giving this a look. And it's kind of like Die Hard on a plane, so it's kind of like Air Force One in a way, but not exactly like the same story. They're saying it's. The Hollywood Reporter here on the back says it's Twister at 35,000 feet, which is pretty much a good scenario for this film, and it's called Turbulence, where you have a bunch of people taking over a plane. Ray Liotta is the leader of these bad guys, and also you have some of the passengers on the plane. You have a flight attendant who becomes our main hero, Lauren Holly from Dumb and Dumber. She's the hero. Some of the passengers, you have Brendan Gleeson, who plays an armed robber. He's an armed robber. I think he's one of the passengers on the plane, along with Ray Liotta, who's the bad guy. But Brendan Gleeson is from I think he was in 28 Days Later. He was in Lake Placid. You've seen him in a lot of other stuff. And another one of the regular passengers on the plane is, I forget the actress's name, but Heidi something. I think it's Heidi Kling or something like that. I could be wrong. I'm not remembering the name at the moment, but Charlie Conway's mother from the Mighty Ducks movies, she's one of the passengers on the plane. So I'm really looking forward to giving this a look because of the cast. Also, Hector Elizondo is in the film as well. But I do enjoy it. I still haven't seen the film, but I do, like I'm saying, I enjoy like the cast members of this. So I'm looking forward to giving this one a look. Next one here is the 2-disc Holy Shnikey edition of Tommy Boy, which is probably the best thing that Chris Farley and David Spade did as a team together. It's a shame that Chris Farley is no longer alive anymore. Could you imagine like him and David Spade doing many movies now if Chris Farley was still alive? I mean, they could have been like the next like Lemon and Mathau or something, or the next Mike Myers, Dana Carvey kind of thing. Because I think these two work really well together, especially on the Matt Foley skit that Chris Farley did on SNL. I mean, it's fun chemistry between these two actors. Miss Chris Farley. And I do enjoy Tommy Boy. It's a really fun movie. Next one here is a film that I don't think many people remember, with Richard Pryor. The Toy. Which, you have Richard Pryor and Jackie Gleason. And you have this kid right here who is one of the kids from Christmas Story. You have Ned Beatty in here as well. This is a really fun film, directed by Richard Donner, surprisingly. Richard Donner did this film, the guy that did the Superman and many other things. But I think this is a really fun film to toy. It's a Richard Pryor film that not many people talk about. Next one here is another great to add to my Arnold collection, Kindergarten Cop. I don't think I need to say more about Kindergarten Cop. It's a really solid film. This one here, this is a really good 3-pack I got for about $8 at FYE. So it's a really good find. 3 movies for $8. It's a 3-pack. You have Behind Enemy Lines, The Thin Red Line, and Tigerland. I really do enjoy Behind Enemy Lines. I enjoy The Thin Red Line. I have not yet seen Tigerland. It's one of the few Joel Schumacher films I have not yet seen before. But Behind Enemy Lines, I always thought Behind Enemy Lines was liked by a lot of people. I looked on Rotten Tomatoes, and not many people seem to like Behind Enemy Lines. I don't really understand why. I think it's a really solid film. Thin Red Line is great by Terrence Malick. I'm looking forward to giving Tigerland a look because I like the cast. Colin Farrell, Clifton Collins Jr., Tom Gury, Scotty Smalls from The Sandlot, Cole Hauser is another one of the actors. But this is a good 3-pack here for about $8. Next one here is another film to add to my collection add to my Michael Mann collection. Thief with James Caan. You have Tuesday Weld, Robert Prosky, and Willie Nelson. A really solid film, once again, by Michael Mann, same guy that did Heat, Manhunter, The Insider, Collateral, a lot of other stuff. So he's done a lot of really good movies, and this is another one of them that I enjoyed. So, set those here. We're done with those stacks. I gotta pick up 2 more here. Next one I got here is a film that not many people probably have heard of, but I really enjoy. Mistrial. It's a made-for-cable film. I think this was made for cable, made for HBO, I think. Yeah, HBO video. Mistrial. Basically, it's kind of like Die Hard in a courtroom, pretty much. Bill Pullman's a guy who's a prosecutor, and basically, this guy is not found guilty of a crime, and Bill Pullman holds the courtroom hostage to present evidence that wasn't yet presented in the case, and he takes the whole courtroom hostage. You have Robert Loggia as the main cop. You have Robert Loggia from Over the Top and Big and a lot of other stuff, the late great Robert Loggia. You have Blair Underwood as another one of the cops. I think this is a really solid film. If you like these kind of like Die Hard situations, and if you want to see like a different kind of premise you've never heard of before, Die Hard in the courtroom, I say give this one a look. And if you're a big Bill Pullman fan, I think it's worth a look. I think this is actually one of Bill Pullman's most underrated performances. I think Bill Pullman did a great job in this movie. The next one here is another Die Hard kind of like movie, Toy Soldiers, where it's Die Hard at a boarding school, where you have a bunch of these people who take over this boarding school. The leader of these people is Andrew Divoff, the Wishmaster himself, and basically a bunch of these delinquent boys at this boarding school decide are basically the heroes of the film, and they try to save the school. You have Louis Gossett Jr. as the dean of the school, and some of the cops in the film. You have Arlie Ermy, the late great Arlie Ermy, who just passed away not too long ago, which is a shame. He's part of the force in this. You have Denholm Elliott, who was in Trading Places and Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's in here as well. And some of the kids in the film that are the heroes. You have Sean Astin from The Goonies, Will Wheaton from Stand By Me, Keith Coogan, who was in Adventures in Babysitting. And you also have T.E. Russell, who was one of Ice-T's gang members in Trespass. He's another one of the kids in the film who saves the day. This is a really fun film, really fun action film. And if you like Die Hard kind of like movies, I say this is one of the best ones, like one of the best Die Hard knockoffs, I guess you would say. Okay. Then I'm gonna. Wow, I have a lot more to get to. I think I'm gonna stop here for part 2, and I will see you guys in part 3.